So my interest in collecting video game related figures started after a friend of mine had introduced me to the game American McGee's Alice, a game in which you control Alice as she explores Wonderland, only instead of being colorful and happy like the Disney interpretation, Wonderland is a twisted nightmare where everything is seemingly gone to hell. Alice has completely lost her grip on reality, having witnessed her parents burned to death in a fire, and after being committed to an asylum, she suffers abuse at the hands of her psychiatrist. Something about this very grown-up take on what I believed to be a children's story fascinated me, and I would later come to learn that most children's fairy tales were originally much darker than the versions that I grew up with. They were downright scary. It's also worth noting that this was EA's first M-rated game. A few months later, I came across one of the toy figures for the game at a shopping mall, and the rest is history. This is, I think, the first Alice that was ever released with the Cheshire Cat, and she just has her Vorpal blade there, so a few blood stains on her dress, and pretty much all the boxes for all the figures that were released look pretty much the same. They're just different sizes. So I'll give you a rotation of one box here and go over all the figures one by one. The back just kind of gives a brief overview of a few of the other figures. These were all made by Milo's Workshop. Okay, so there's the regular Alice again, and then there's a bloody version of Alice, which in my opinion is probably the most sought after. Just a lot more blood on her hand and dress there. This version of Alice has slightly bigger pupils in the eyes. They just decided to paint them bigger. And then they released an anime version of Alice with the gray cat, and another anime version of Alice with the brown cat. I'm not sure why they made the cat brown, but they did. And then there's a Tower Records exclusive or Gothic Alice that has a glow-in-the-dark Cheshire Cat, and her dress is a bit darker as well. So here's all the 6 variants together. Again, just comparing them side by side here. There's the regular Alice. There she is with slightly larger eyes. Then you can see her bloodier there on the right. Then the anime versions of Alice, one with the gray cat and another with the brown cat. And the Gothic or Tower Records exclusive. I'll open one of them up here just so you can get an idea of a little bit of the articulation. It has a pull me tab, which slides right out. The insert is pretty interesting in that it's double-sided. You usually don't see that, but there's some nice artwork on the front, and then some more information on the back. And I'll give a spin here of the figures out of the box. I know a lot of people have, a lot of the unboxings that I've seen of Alice doesn't have great balance. Like, she's really hard to keep standing up, but mine seems to do pretty well here. But her arms both move up and down. Her left arm just kind of folds in and out. Not really a whole lot you can do with her. There's a little bit of hip movement, and the head can't really turn because the hair's in the way. But very limited articulation, and the same with the Cheshire Cat. He pretty much only has a head that spins around, and that's pretty much it, the extent of it. So going over some of the other figures that were released here, here's the caterpillar with his hookah or whatever he's smoking there. And they all look kind of creepy. That's a larger figure. The Mad Hatter, there was another variant of this with a gray jacket, but this one was the first one released with the white jacket. He's just got his top hat and teapot cane accessories. All these figures are really old, so some of the packages look a little beat up and dirty, but I think they're in pretty good condition. Here's the white rabbit with the black jacket. There was also a white rabbit with a red jacket variant and a black rabbit with a gray jacket variant, and he comes with his teacup and his pocket watch. Here's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and they both look very disturbing. The card guards I have, here's the heart and club figure. There was also a heart and spade figure released, which I don't have. And on the other side here I have the diamond and spade figure. And there was also a diamond and club figure released, which I don't have. So 4 card guards sets in total. I have 2 of them. The Jabberwocky in particular is interesting because this is not the same Jabberwocky that you encounter in the game. It's actually based on an earlier design, but they decided to release the figure anyway, which kind of gives it an interesting history. And here we have a miniature pewter Cheshire Cat, which came with pre-orders. I don't think everybody who pre-ordered got one, so it is kind of rare. And then they released this 20-inch Cheshire Cat. I'm assuming it's also Milo's Workshop because of the packaging. It looks almost identical to the Alice figures, but this is probably my prized collection in the whole set, just because it's a really nice looking statue. I was actually surprised at how big it actually is when I first got it in hand. But amazing paintwork, and the size of it is just really really makes it stand out. There was also another Cheshire Cat that was about 20 inches and a full-sized Alice that was like 5 feet 5 inches, I think. Those were both released by Muckle Mannequins. I don't have either of those. But this is 152 out of 1,000, so there's only 1,000 of those made. And there's a size comparison next to the Alice figure and me holding it. There were a few other products released. This chart, while probably not 100% accurate, gives a brief overview of the whole series. Some figures carried over across multiple series, which is why it has, some of them have that last production run in the corner, but others don't. And then moving on to the Madness Returns figures, I have the 3 Alices. This is the regular Alice. She comes with Hobby Horse and the Pepper Grinder accessories. The 2 figures that I don't have are shown on the back there. They did release 1 card guard and 1 Cheshire Cat. There was another I think, 9-inch PVC statue or vinyl statue released by Diamond Select, which is who made these. I don't have that one either. This is the Royal Card dress. Same accessories, just a different dress. And then the third version is the Hysteria, where she's in a white dress and all bloodied up. That's my personal favorite out of the set, just because she's a complete psycho. So for the figures that I don't have, you can check the website to get a little bit more information. They released a Vorpal blade. There was a teapot for Madness Returns. I don't think the website figures are all inclusive, but at least you can get a little more information about the figures that I don't have. The creator of the game, American McGee, who's on the right there, he's also known for his previous work as the developer for Doom and the Quake series, is currently working on a pitch for a third Alice game to EA since they own the license. And that project, tentatively titled Alice Asylum, is a work in progress and needs as much support as it can get to let EA know that there's sufficient demand for it. And American has been live streaming on YouTube and has also been extremely transparent with every step of the process, even showing prototypes for possible future merchandise, which is quite interesting if you're curious about how things work behind the scenes. So if you'd like to see a third Alice, I'll be including some links in the description where you can find his information and how to get involved with that. But that's all the figures I have. Thanks for watching.